The Clone Wars project is coming to an end. There is only one more minifigure which I need to do for this project, and that is of course General Grievous. Now I've obviously made quite a lot of progress on this minifigure already. I've actually been working on him for at least 2 weeks already, and it has been really hard to pull this off, but I think he's looking pretty good. Now, I haven't really mentioned this before, but about half of the minifigures from the Clone Wars project were actually finished before the first video went up on public, just so I had enough time in the future to make this minifigure, just because I wanted to put everything into it and I just wanted to make him really cool. So let's look at the sculpt and the basic detail which I've done on this minifigure so far. You can see that I kind of started with the basic General Grievous minifigure from LEGO themselves. You can see parts of it which are from the minifigure, but things like the arms and the legs are changed quite a lot. So the things that are directly from the Grievous minifigure are the torso and the head, and then the bottom part of the legs, and the rest is all custom, but even those pieces from LEGO's Grievous have been modified a fair bit. I also did make these 2 custom lightsabers. I actually did make 4 because of course in my head, 4 arms, Grievous, 4 lightsabers, but then I forgot that I was only doing 2 arms. This is from the Clone Wars, and that means he only has 2 arms from the Clone Wars. At no point I believe did he have 4 arms, and also it was just going to be easier, so it was more convenient to do it that way. So I made 4 lightsabers, but ultimately only 2 of them are actually going on this minifigure. Maybe I can put them on other minifigures one day though. The first thing I did to this minifigure was I got rid of all of the joints which connected the arms and the legs. I then replaced them with ball joints, which are just LEGO leather pieces, the top piece of that with the little round ball. I had to carve out a massive hole through the hole of the hip piece and also in the shoulder piece to insert them. I then put green stuff around and a lot of glue just so they were secured in there really well. To make the other part of the joint for both of the legs and for both of the arms, I used a LEGO droid arm piece and then cut off half of it. I then used green stuff to model around the top clip piece, and so then it would be able to go over the ball joint quite well and be able to move around and not fall off too easily. On both the legs and the arms there is one which definitely goes on a bit better and works better, but that's kind of okay. He's going to stay in the same position for the most part, he's not going to move much, so that does kind of work still. The actual sculpting was done in at least 10 different parts. It took absolutely ages. Between each part I obviously had to leave about 4 hours for it to dry, so realistically I could only do 2 little bits every day, so that's where lots of the time is done. There's also parts which I had to do multiple times. Each of the arm sockets I had to sculpt about 4 times at least. I'd say one of them definitely was 6 times, and the legs I had to do multiple times as well. The head I did not take long to do. It was just using Grievous's head and then using the green stuff to make the 3D elements. However, the hinge which is connecting the head to the torso was also custom done. I once again used a leather piece and used the actual bracket piece of the leather piece and put that on the torso, then obviously put lots of green stuff around it. And then I used the bottom part of the leather piece and put that inside the head, once again making a massive hole in the head and then sculpting and gluing things to keep it in place, so now that can go in quite well and it can move up and down. I also did do the kind of grill pattern on the neck, and that also looks quite nice I think. The legs weren't too complicated to do. I was originally planning on having more joints in the legs, maybe it was going to be in the knees or in the ankles, I wasn't sure. But ultimately I decided that would take too much time and he just would be too fragile, so I just went with a simple route and left it simple. I then did put lots of sculpting on the legs. I mentioned earlier that the bottom section of the legs are LEGO's pieces, but they obviously have a lot of sculpting to make them more 3D and also to give them a bit more accuracy to the real thing. Obviously the painting is going to take quite a long time, so I'm hoping I can pull that off quite well. I'm still not great at painting, I'm definitely a lot better at sculpting and doing 3D elements than doing painting, so hopefully that will turn out nice. And I think I might also do a cape, even though he doesn't really have his cape in the Clone Wars, I don't think. it'll just mean that I can kind of do some stuff with the render and city things as well, so hopefully that will turn out nice as well. The full showcase will be out next week because also this video is being filmed a few weeks in advance, so some of the videos which you saw like last week may have been made like 2 months ago, so that's just how far ahead I've had to do these videos just so I could make this Grievous minifigure. The only real reason that I made this video was just to show the sculpt so I didn't have to talk about it as much in the main showcase, because otherwise that video would be about 10 minutes long, and that's a bit long for a showcase I think. So hopefully you enjoyed, hopefully you got some inspiration or some ideas, hope you like it. So thank you for watching all the way through to the end, make sure you subscribe and goodbye.